Hey,
you brought
bud.
it over, didn't you?
Absolutely.
Oh, I love it. Hey, welcome to Shadetree Mechanic. Well, folks, I'm going to do something today I've been wanting to do for a long time, and that's put a Cobra together. I've always wanted these things. Sam brought his over. Sam, that looks terrific.
Absolutely. Hey, I see you got the engine transmission. You've been working, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, I sure have. In fact, what I did is I got a donor car here, which is going to be the basis for my kit car.
And you put the junkyard cut on it. I'm real proud of you.
Hey, I got to put a new hose on it anyway, so it's not a big deal. But this is what we have, Sam. I got everything pretty well set up.
Absolutely. Now, Dave's come a long way. What he's done is he's pre-assembled a lot of things, put some of the steel tubings in, suspension on. Once you got all those things fit and the holes drilled, went ahead and had the frame all nicely powder coated. Looks good.
Yeah, and in fact, I've had it all together and got it all back apart. Now we're ready to go back together with it one more time.
That's great.
Now, here's what we have right here. This is our kit car. Starting out right down here, I got all the things that comes with it. Got the hood, the deck, doors, all these components, plus the fiberglass body right here. This is all put together, so all I have to do is finish it off, then I can put it back on the chassis. But this is what we started with. This is what Sam's car looks like. That's what you can end up with. Now, he started out the same way I did with mine. It was the same deal, and he put a bigger engine in it, of course, but you can see he's got it all decorated up, dashboard's all nice in it. He even put a roll bar on it. Now, I'm not going to put a roll bar on mine, but he's got one on his. But it looks pretty nice. But this is what we have. This is what we're doing. This is our chassis, as Sam said. Now, we can use the donor car for that. I only spent about $600 for the donor car, so I saved myself quite a bit of money on this. And the suspension right here in the front, I bought this along with the kit. Now, you don't have to do that. You can use a Mustang 2 suspension just as well and save yourself some money. But even with that, we still can use the calipers, the rotors, and the spindles off of our Mustang. The engine, drivetrain, everything will fit right in here. And, of course, the rear end will fit back there as well. So we use a lot out of the component car.
Okay, now, they've done a great job in this chassis. This chassis is designed for the rear end out of a Mustang, the donor car. Of course, this is the factory leading link here on the top, and the factory leading links down here on the back of the rear axle housing. You take it out. Of course, we've got a location here for the top of the shock absorbers. You pull the complete rear end assembly out of the donor car, bolts right in here. We'll even use the coil springs that come out of that car, and it makes it just like factory suspension.
Hey, now show them that fuel tank, Sam.
Here we got a nice tank that comes with the kit car. It slides right in here, mounts right up in the chassis. You've got a great little place. There we go. Slides right up there like that.
All right, now you hold that there. Now, put our fill pipe like this. All we have to do is put that in. Hooks right up through our body. Then we can fill our tank. So it goes together very nicely.
That's right. We've got the sending unit installed and all wired. This kit comes with a great wiring harness for all the accessories.
Yeah, speaking of wiring harnesses, what I did is I ran my wiring harness, also bent my fuel lines, brake lines, all that ahead of time before I had my chassis painted. This way, now I can put it all together. I don't scratch anything. Makes it a lot nicer.
That's right.
We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to continue building our Cobra kit car, so stay with us. Come on, Sam, help me roll this out of the way and we'll slide that in.
All right.
The 1962 AC Cobra was the mastermind of Carroll Shelby, who brought together the British AC Ace Roadster with Ford's new small block Fairlane 260 V8 to create the Cobra.
Okay, Sam.
All right, come up.
Got it?
Yeah, oh, that's perfect right there.
Right there?
Yep.
Okay. Hey, welcome back to Shadetree Mechanic. Oh, we've got our kit car here in the garage. Sam and I have got the rear end up here in the back end of it, got it almost mounted. By the way, what we chose here is the Lone Star Classics kit out of Fort Worth, Texas. And the reason we did it is because, first of all, you can see they make a quality chassis here. It's all boxed. And they also jig it when they put this together, so everything stays true. But the best part of it is when you take the parts out of your donor car, you can bolt them right up into this chassis. Everything stays true. That way you have a safer car, a better riding car, and of course a better handling car as well.
Absolutely. Now, we took the rear end out of the Mustang, and it bolts right into this car. The chassis is all set up for it. Here you can see we've got the top leading links. I just put those in place. Down over here we've got the other leading links that are the spring supports. Got our coil springs right here. The chassis is all welded and set up to take the factory coil springs. We even have the shock set up right here on the shock mounts that are all set to go. Once you've got it all in place, then just tighten up the bolts. First thing we're going to do is tighten up these bolts here on this top control arm.
There you go.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Ready?
All right, go ahead, hit it. Good. Let's go over here and get this one.
All right.
Okay, now we're getting ready to go ahead and put in the fuel tank. Before we do, though, what we've done is we've taken some of this insulated foam, lined the inside of the frame with it. That way we don't have to worry about chafing the tank.
All right.
Okay, Sam, I got it.
All right, tank installs easily. You just put it up in place. And it's retained, of course, by these straps that come up here, and there's already a bracket on the chassis. Put the bolt through it, put a washer, a lock washer, and a nut on it. I got it, buddy.
Okay, you got it?
Yep.
All right, now, one of the other things I've already done is I've run my fuel lines and brake lines. I've run them so that they're out of the way. They're going to interfere with anything. Hooked them in here with an insulated clamp like you see right here. Same thing with the brake lines. Now, back over here, I've got my battery cable. And again, I've run that so that it's out of the way. It doesn't interfere with anything. Remember, on this car, the battery is located in the trunk, so we're using a grade 1 cable. How you coming there, Sam? You got that done?
Just about started here, yep. Also, when you put your tank in, you'll have a fuel filler pipe that goes up here, plugs in here. You don't want to put that in or tighten it up yet because you've got to fit it into the body. Once your tank's up, just go ahead and tighten your straps. All right, come on, pal, come back.
All right, guide me back there, Sam.
A little bit more, a little bit more. All right, that'll be good right there. We're getting ready to set in the engine and transmission now. Here you can see the 5-speed gearbox and our bell housing. This is where the clutch and flywheel live. And we got a nice compact 5-liter Ford Mustang engine, multi-port fuel injected, all the factory stuff on it. A really nice little power plant for this chassis.
Yeah, and one other thing you get with the kit too is right here. This is the plate, this is the motor plate. Mount this to your block. Then we go down here and we got a rubber motor mount right here. Now this is in rubber, so once you set this down, the engine's all mounted in rubber, takes all the vibration out of it, gives you a nice smooth running car.
And of course back here the transmission has a rubber cushion that goes onto the cross member. Cross member is nothing real fancy, it's just a nice strong cross member. And once the engine and transmission are in, you're going to have to go ahead and fabricate a drive shaft. And we did this already here, and you have to measure it, you have it cut, welded and balanced, so you can bolt it right up, and that way you can transfer your power to the rear wheels. Okay, let's go ahead and set this down. Come on down gently, Dave.
All right.
Come on down, come on down. Well, right there, whoop. Perfect. All right, set down the front now. Come on, easy, easy.
All right, now, that'll take care of that for right now. Now, I ran into a little bit of a problem here when we put our stock engine in our frame, and that is right here. I didn't have enough clearance here for the stock oil filter. So what I've done is I've solved that problem. I'm going to put a remote filter. Now, you could run a stock. You get a short one on here. That would probably work, but we're running a high-performance oil filter. So what I did is I got an adapter that'll go right here where the old filter goes. Now I have to make up some lines, bring that over here. This is the remote adapter that I've mounted over here on the other side of the frame. Got some fittings in here temporarily so I can get my length set up. But this is the performance oil filter we're going to use. This is the K&N Performance Gold oil filter. This is what it looks like right here. Now, one of the things I like about this is it's got a little hex welded right here on the back of it. So after it's been on, it's tough to get off. You can get a wrench on there and spin it right off. Now this will flow anywhere from 15 to 20 gallons per minute. Got a 550-pound burst pressure, plus it's 2.5 times more durable than other oil filters. So this will work pretty well for what we're going to do with this engine. And I'll just spin right on here, and you want to make sure when you mount your remote mount that you have enough room to get your filter on like that. Now, while I got this engine here, I want to show you a couple other things. This is a stock Ford 5-liter motor, and I'm leaving it pretty much the way it is for right now because of a budget problem. I don't have much money to spend on it, so I'm going to leave all this on here. I'm even leaving the air conditioning compressor on here because really it's acting like the pulley here for the rest of the belt here. Now later on I may take this all off, put on some trick pulleys, put on a new belt and everything and clean this up, but I'm leaving it like it is right now, Sam.
All right, how are you making out with this?
I'm going to go ahead and make my oil lines and I'll be done with that.
Great. Okay, now we're going to install our aluminum radiator that comes with the kit. That sits right down here in these brackets, and of course they're rubber lined to make sure that you isolate the engine vibrations. Sets right in here like that. This is what one of the brackets looks like. Okay, the bracket's right here, got the rubber right there. If you isolate the radiator from the engine vibrations through the chassis, then what you'll do is you'll extend the life of the radiator seams. This goes in pretty easy, just line up the bolts. Okay, once the bolt's lined up with the hole, just drive it in here, tighten it up, and then you'll be ready to put the hoses on. All right,
down.
easy.
Easy.
Yep.
On?
Great.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
All right, now, one of the things you always want to remember before you put your body down on the chassis, go ahead and get your foam tape again. Put this down all over the chassis, any place where your body is going to make contact. That way, it'll insulate it from vibration. You'll have a much quieter car that way.
All right, watch out, buddy. I'll bring this in. Next piece we've got here to assemble in the kit is our cowl support. Now what this does is, this gives us a place to bolt the body to the chassis, make the cowl rigid, and of course this tucks up underneath here, like so, stands up, and we've also got a place to hang our steering column, and we've got some holes drilled here to go right through to the plates on the chassis. Here's a couple bolts.
Okay. All right. Well, you can see we're making some pretty good progress here with our Cobra. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to continue on getting our Cobra all together.
Hey, you see the holes up here for your roll bar?
Oh, I ain't going to put that on there.
The 1965-68 Cobra, equipped with a 427 engine, could accelerate from 0 to 100 in 14 seconds and reach a top speed of 165 miles per hour.
All right, got that done.
Great.
Hey, welcome back to Shadetree Mechanic. Well, I got our trunk all mounted. Pretty good shape. I'm going to go ahead and get the steering column.
All right. Now what I'm getting ready to do is to mount this Le Mans style fuel filler. You can see it really works neat, looks great. This is what you find in the original race cars. Of course, we have to make sure there's enough clearance here so the latch doesn't hit the bodywork. This comes in a couple pieces. We have a flange here that this thing screws off of. You want to make sure you orient it right. What I've done here in the fiberglass, I've gone ahead and marked the 4 holes, okay? And then we'll have a 1.5-inch hole which we'll drill with a hole saw, okay? We have our gasket that seals here. There's a gasket and a flange that goes underneath. Once we have all the holes in place, we can go ahead and put our bolts through it, tighten it up, and that'll give us a good seal. The first thing I want to do is go ahead and drill these bolt holes out. Next, take an 1.5-inch hole saw and drill out the filler neck. Then we'll put our rubber gasket on, line up the holes. We'll set our flange in. Then we'll put in these screws. Once the screws are in, I can go ahead and put the flange on the bottom with some nuts and some flat washers, and we'll go ahead and tighten up our screws. And to finish it off, we'll bring in our filler cap and just screw it down.
All right, now one of the nice things about Lone Star is when you get your kit, you get some options with it. Now what I got here is our dashboard. Now they mark it for your gauges here, and you can mount your gauges directly into it in the fiberglass, or in our case, we got the custom dashboard. This is aluminum. You can mount your gauges in here. If you do that, then you cut this panel out like so. That way your gauges all fit in there. You have them all wired nice. You don't have that rat's nest back there.
I got the fuel filler all done when we put the gauges in this.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right.
All righty.
All right, buddy, here you go. You all set?
I'm all ready for you. Hey, that looks pretty good. Now, here's what it looks like. This is the custom dash panel. We've got the gauges mounted in here, wiring harness already hooked up. Now, it should just fit right in here like so. And we'll slide it in. Make sure we get all the wires around it. Now, that looks pretty good. Now, all we have to do is put our screw in there. By the way, what we've done is we've left the tape on our panel. Let me pull this off so you can get an idea what that looks like. That way, as we're working around it, then we don't scratch it. Now, when everything is done, then we'll pull that off. Our panel will be real nice. And we'll go ahead and put in our screw, and we can button this part up.
All right, next we're ready for our tilt steering column. Here you go, Dave.
Okay.
Before we put in the column, we've got another component here, and this is the steering shaft. Got universal joints in both ends, goes down to the rack and connects the steering column to that. Just slides right down here. Bring it through, bud.
Okay, now, one of the things that we've done here is this is an option that we chose from Lone Star. Now, the reason we did this is because it's all put together, got the wiring harness connector in it. So all we have to do is plug this into the wiring harness we've already installed into our body. This way it makes it a lot easier.
One down, pal.
All right,
got it
let me
through.
slide this in here.
There you go.
Got it?
Turn the steering wheel about 60 degrees here. A little bit more. The other way. Perfect.
There you go.
Right in there. All right. Down far enough?
Yep.
Good. All right, now we're getting ready to install the doors. You can see it's a well-made door, nice and heavy, has an all-steel frame and a hinge arrangement, and it goes right in here and bolts to our cowl support. Really well made.
Okay, now, what I've got right here, got the latch mechanism for it. This is what it looks like. You can see it's very well built, and it'll fit right in here on the steel support in this area. Also, we have the striker. Now, this will fit in here as well, so we'll have to do some trimming on that. First, though, let's get the door on. Sam, how you coming?
Hold up that end there, buddy.
All right.
Now, this is definitely a two-man job, so get someone to help you.
That takes care of that one, pal.
All right, bud, that looks pretty good.
Hey, I can't wait. I got to get in. I got to get in.
Go ahead.
I want to see how it's going to fit.
All right.
Hey, what do you think? Is this me or what?
Well, with that head sticking up, you're going to need a roll bar, I'm telling you.
You know what? I think he's probably right. Let's go do that.
Well, here's the hardware for the other side. Go ahead and put that in.
All right.
All right. Now, to put our striker in, it's real simple. What we do is we take this. This is the aluminum hex bolt that comes with it. You drill a hole in here. The bolt goes in. We'll put our striker in here. Then we'll drill another hole from the back side and bolt the striker block in from the back side. And this just goes in here like so. Tighten this down, and we'll be all set. All right, bud. Let me set this long one in first.
All right. I got it.
All right.
Set her down.
All right, we're getting ready to install our windshield. And you can see we've come a long way, got a lot accomplished. These kits were a blast and a lot of fun to put together now. I want to show you some of the other things we did right up front here. And we cut out the headlights here. Of course, these are all scribed, so I want the taillights just like the gauges were. Put our headlight buckets in, ran the wires up, put our bumpers in. We put the exhaust on and plumbed the engine, got the hood on, the hood pins. We've even got Dave's roll bar in here.
Hey, you know, it looks pretty good. It really sets it off. I'm glad we did it now, Sam.
Absolutely.
Now, we got everything else mounted in here. Got our dashboard in. We've got everything hooked up, all the details pretty much done. This way we know everything works, so we're almost ready to take it to the paint shop, but got a few more things to do yet.
How much you got in this thing now total, including the donor car?
Between $15,000 and $18,000, so not bad for this. I'm within budget so far.
For a Cobra, for sure.
It sure is. Now, if you want to buy something like this, what you have to do is get a hold of Lone Star. Give them your engine size, transmission, rear end, so that way they can put the proper mounts on the chassis, and that way everything bolts together.
Absolutely. Oh, they can build you a complete turnkey car.
We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to show you some new products, so stay with us.
All right, you ready to put those in?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Move it up there just a little bit.
With help from Ford Motor Company, the AC Cobra began production in 1962. Production ended in 1968 because of high insurance rates and government emission and safety regulations.
Okay, Sam, bring her on up. Let's see how far up this will go. Hey, that's all right, isn't it?
Works good, yeah.
Hey, welcome back to Shadetree Mechanic. Well, look what Sam and I are playing with. This is a portable lift here that I swear every enthusiast ought to have in their garage. Is that all far it'll go?
It'll go some more.
It'll go farther
Yeah.
up? Anyway, this is called the VersaLift, and this is quite a piece of equipment.
That's right, this is a portable lift, and here's what it runs on. It's got a power plant here. It's got a 110-volt motor, hydraulic pump, and a reservoir. That's all mounted on this little stand that acts like a little tow bar. You hook it on the front, and it's completely portable. You can use it in your garage, you can tow it outside, use it outside, wherever you got 110.
You know, the thing I like about it is it makes working on a car so much easier, especially if you're doing brake jobs or body work, you're going to do detail work. You can raise it right up here where you can work on it easily,
Sure.
you know, and you don't have to use jack stands under or anything like that. But the best part I like is where you can hook it up down there and just roll it around in your garage or put it away where it's out of the way.
Sure.
Nice piece.
And if you've got a nice low car, of course, it's got pretty low profile and low clearance. Of course, then you have these little legs that'll fold up. You have two different sizes depending on the height of the car. They also make these optional, these are pickup truck and van adapters. These slide on like this, plug in there like that. You know, you have the Z frame, you can adjust it, and that way you can pick up all the pickup trucks.
Tell me, how much will this pick up, Sam?
This thing is 6,000-pound capacity.
It'll pick up about anything you want to put on it. Pretty nice. This is called the VersaLift. It's from Rotary Lift out of Madison, Indiana. And these start out around $1,500. Sam, what do you got over there?
What I've got here is a line of tune-up products, and this is a Big A Plus premium tune-up products. They're available from Big A auto parts stores all across the country. What they've got is a line of premium distributor caps and rotors, and they have brass and copper inserts. They have a high-quality resin that prevents electric punch-through and dielectric breakdown, because these caps and rotors meet or exceed all of your original equipment specifications that are published. They even have a line of plug wires, and these are an advanced design plug wire. They'll outlast conventional plug wires 2 to 1.
That's pretty nice stuff.
Yeah.
But what I've got right here, this is called Lucas's Transmission Fix. Now what this does is it helps take the slip out of automatic transmissions. Plus, it helps lubricate the valves, increase line pressure, which gives you a better shift. Nice thing about it, it'll help seal some of the transmission seal leaks. Plus, it's a good preventive maintenance item as well. This is less than $8. It's from Lucas Oil Products out of Corona, California. Well, Sam, I'll tell you what. I can't hardly believe that I've got myself a Cobra.
A little bit of spray paint, I saw you got motivated. When that thing's painted, you're really going to enjoy it.
But once again, we've run out of time, but we'll see you again next time here on Shadetree Mechanic.
Bye-bye.
Come on, let's get this out of the way and go play with our cars.
All right.
If you would like more information about the products seen on today's show, call 1-800-682-TREE. If you'd like to order a video cassette of this episode, call 1-800-682-TREE or write to the address on your screen. Please refer to the offer number shown. Remember, that's 1-800-682-TREE.
Well, bud, coming together.
Well, one of these days, partner, mine's gonna look just like yours. I mean, that thing is absolutely gorgeous.
It's
I
a
love
pretty
it.
car. I really like it, I'll tell you. That's going to look great. Mine looked like that before I painted it.
Want to hear it run?
Let's hear it. I love these side pipes. They sound good.
Starts right up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'll tell you.